Sometimes we arrive in situations in our life that maybe we didn't think that we would arrive in, but then there we are, completely unaware of what to do and how to get ourselves out of those situations. I'm gonna be completely honest, the first weeks of 2025 have been a rough couple of weeks, where at times I've been an emotional wreck, where I've been unable to do anything at all. Some days, even getting myself out of bed have proven too difficult. Sometimes we forget how much we're actually driven by our own emotions. If we let them, they can dictate our entire life and by extension, also our football career. But if we take control of them, if we learn how to handle our emotions and use them as our strength instead of letting them knock us down, even when times get tough, that's when nothing will be able to stand in our way. Today I will speak about what's been going on for the last few weeks and why I haven't uploaded in a while. I will share the lessons I've learned from this experience, but most importantly, I will show you that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, even in the darkest of times. But first, it's time for some football, so let's head to the pitch for a training session. Welcome to episode 2 of Project Reborn 2. We're out here on the pitch today, where we're gonna carry out the final session before I receive the program. And as you can see, winter have arrived in Sweden and it's cold, so we better get going. We're gonna focus on some first touch, some dribbling, some finishing, and I will walk you through the entire session so you can follow along and do exactly what I do. Let's go. Okay, so warm-up done, and now we're gonna head into the first exercise. And to be honest, this is an exercise that I've never done before in my entire life. I just found these 2 benches that I've put up, and I'm gonna use them to pass against, to receive the ball off the first touch. Then we're gonna head into this kind of dribbling exercise where we'll go one direction or the other, and then have a finish at goal. And that's the thing, because now before I have the program, before I have a plan, like a set plan, the most important thing is not to overanalyze and overthink, but just to go out and do something. It's always better to do something than to do nothing. But I'm gonna walk you through the exercise now. Okay, so first I'm gonna pass the ball towards this bench, receive it, pass it against this one, and then once I get it here, I can either go to the right or to the left, and preferably of your first touch. So for instance, if I get the ball here, I can choose to go to the left, take it towards this cone, perform a feint, and then have a finish at goal, and preferably in the goal. And I'm gonna be a bit careful when performing the finishing on my right foot because I've had a quad injury a few months back, so I don't wanna overdo anything. But let's get into the exercise. Okay, so we're gonna head into the second exercise, and I like to call this the W exercise. This one is gonna focus once again on the first touch, but in a multitude of different situations. And first touch is definitely something that's gonna be a big part of my program on the technical side going forward. So that's why I wanna focus a lot on the first touch. So we have a lot of different situations that we can get ourselves into in this exercise, but what we'll do is we'll pass the ball against the bench, and one of is 3 different types of situations. So the first one is we pass the ball, we receive it, and with our first touch, we take it to one of the sides and we have a finish at goal. And then the second one is that we pass the ball and then we go down low like we have someone on our back and we protect the ball. And then we go out to one of the sides, go around this cone, and then take this one on, have a finish at goal. And then for the third situation, we will kind of do the same as the first one, but we'll play the ball against the bench and we will, instead of taking it with one touch to one of the sides, we will receive the ball, and then with our second touch we will go to one of the sides or make a feint. So it may look like something like this, where I receive the ball, I go there, and then I take it with my second touch and then have a finish at goal.
Komiker.
Nei, det er ingenting å hente. Okay, so the camera died, so we have to make do with the phone, but it will do. But for the final and third exercise, it's gonna be a simple one where we're just gonna play the ball towards one of the benches, either that one or this one, and then take our first touch towards the cones, go on the attack, make a feint, and then have a finish in the goal, preferably. But once again, we want to keep it simple and do that to the max of our ability and just be fully focused and in the moment. So let's go. Okay, so where do I even begin? Well, it's definitely been an interesting start to the year, to say the least. The last video you saw was Project Reborn episode 1, titled How to be Reborn as a Footballer. And at that time, that was uploaded on the 1st of January. I felt like I had great momentum in my career and on the YouTube channel, and I felt like things were heading in a direction where I was really excited for the new year. Then towards the last few days of 2024 and the first few days of 2025, there were some personal stuff that happened, and I really don't feel like I want to go into detail about it all, but what I can say is that it took a huge toll on my mental well-being, and I didn't feel good at all. There were days where I didn't want to get out of bed. I stayed at home all day, I isolated myself from people, and I just did the things that you really aren't supposed to do to feel good. And I entered a negative spiral where things just got worse and worse and worse. On some days I couldn't even eat because I had no appetite at all. I didn't train at all in this period because I just felt, I couldn't do anything. And then I also had the added pressure of the project at hand because I just had launched it. I launched a community. I had the first few members get into the community. We're now up towards 30 members, I think. But then I just didn't feel like I could do anything. I didn't upload anything on the YouTube channel. I didn't progress with the episodes. I didn't post anything in the community, and I just felt like shit. I felt like shit, to be honest. And I felt the responsibility towards you that are watching these videos and towards the members of the community to do something. And that just made things worse. And
I tried to force myself to do things, but it didn't just work out, and I just felt worse and worse and worse. But from this overwhelming experience of emotions, I've also understood once again, and really this time learned, that as people and as footballers also, we're hugely driven by our own emotions. We have logic. The logical approach is what we did towards the end of the year of 2024, where we made plans. We set goals for the new year, and everything seems like it will work out because now we have a plan, we know what to do, and we will just do that. But then, why do not every player succeed who sets these goals? Because there are things that will get in the way, as it did with me, and maybe as it have done for you as well now in the start of 2025. And then the most important thing comes down to, how do we tackle these negative emotions? And I didn't tackle them well. But also, you have to be kind towards yourself at times. Sometimes it is just not possible to get out of a bad moment. Like, for instance, now, I don't really know what I could have done differently. I tried my best and it didn't work out the way I wanted to, but at least I tried to get back. I tried to force myself to get back into a good mood, but sometimes you just have to, you have to let your wounds heal. And that takes time. That can take a day, that can take months, it can take years at times. So don't be too hard on yourself. But from this experience, I've also learned that there is things that we can do to affect our emotions. Everything seems perfectly fine in the logical approach, and then we get to our emotions, and then they just don't add up. And we are beings, we are humans, we're driven by our own emotions. They can help us, but they can also bring us down, as I've noticed. But from this experience, there are a few things that I've actually learned. And the first of those things is that we really can't prepare for a bad moment. We never know when it will happen, we never know what it will come from, and we just have to be ready for it. And then once it finally gets to you, it's about how you handle it. And we all handle these setbacks in different ways, depending on our upbringings and, our previous experiences and all that. But what I've noticed have helped me get out on the other side again, because I will come to that, but I'm in a much better place now a few weeks later than I was a few weeks back. But what have helped me navigate this moment is, first of all, as I said, to just be, not do anything, just let time do its thing and get back on track. And then once I finally felt like I had some form of motivation, like I could do something, then do things that puts me in a spiral, a positive spiral, that then compounds into more positive habits. Okay, I will try to make that a bit easier. For instance, I tried to get up every morning and go for a walk the first thing I did, because that made me go out. I got fresh air, I got sunlight, my blood started to flow around my body, and I just, I woke up. And that put me on a path where more positive habits could follow up. And then I slowly started to get back into training. I received the training program, which we will get to in the next video. But I started to perform the training, and once I started to perform the training, I started to feel better, more good hormones were released in my body, and I just felt better overall, and things started to head in the right direction. So if you're in a bad moment, try to get back into small habits, things that are easy to do, like go out for a walk, or grab a glass of water the first thing you do, and then that will build momentum over time. You may not, get back into a good moment in a day or 2 days, but over time, over the coming weeks, months, whatever, once you perform these small positive habits, over time that will compound, because I started with the walks and then I got back into training, and now I feel really good once again. And that thing that put me in this bad moment, I've almost completely forgotten about it now. And now it feels kind of stupid that that thing made me such an emotional wreck, but we will never know which things will affect us and how badly they will actually affect us. So I hope that brought some clarity as to where I've been for the last couple of weeks, what's the status on the project and all that. But I'm just glad to tell you that I'm back on track. I have started to work on the next 4 or 5 episodes of Project Reborn, other upcoming videos as well, and I can already say that, for instance, the next video, I will go through the entire training program, every session that I do, including my daily prehab, my recovery routine, all 6 sessions, gym sessions, football sessions, you name it, everything will be included in a massive video that will be out probably next week. I just wanted to make this video because I thought that I owed you an explanation as to where I've been, and I also wanted to share this story because I think it's important for you to understand the entire picture and not just show the days where everything is sunshine and rainbows, to show you that when you go through your life and football career, you will have ups, but you will certainly have downs as well, and sometimes even so deep that you'll wonder if you'll ever get out of them. And you can never know when these tougher periods will strike you down, and you will not always be prepared for them. But if it's one thing I've learned throughout my life and career, is that you will always get out of those moments. It may take a day, it may take weeks, hell, it may even take years. But trust me, even if it feels tough today, there's always a hope for a better tomorrow.